God morning, Unity of Greater Hartford. So good to see all of you. I'm Deborah Giddings, and I am the Prayer Chaplain Ministry Lead here at Unity. And it's so wonderful to have those in the sanctuary as well as those who are on Facebook and watching us through our website. With me today is our amazing, fabulous, wonderful music director, Carolyn Fisher, our worship assistant, Catherine Ewing, live stream masters, Jim Mahoney, Angela Simidon, and Tony Bensko. And a big thank you to all of those who are in service today. We have our greeters, Lois, our ushers, Kathy Diggs, and our prayer chaplains, Lynn Lennon and Joanne Garland. Thank you all for being here with us. And we also have a really great special guest speaker today, Teresa Creasy, who is a Unity licensed teacher from Unity of Norwalk, and her title is Spiritual Understanding Empowers Me. So I'm going to be telling you a bit more about Teresa later on, but right now, join me in welcoming Teresa to Unity of Greater Hartford. So glad you're here. And though we are filming live streaming, don't let this affect your experience in the sanctuary. Feel free to, if you want to, clap, applaud, call out a response. However, the major difference for now is that there is no singing permitted except by Carolyn. You may mouth the words or hum, and if you do so, please put on a mask because, as we all know, it's easy to slide into the singing. Now, we handed out a Sunday bulletin to those in the sanctuary, and if you didn't receive one, please raise your hand, and Kathy Diggs will bring you a bulletin. Please don't leave it here in the sanctuary. Take it with you. It's yours. Take it home with you. And for those watching online, you can obtain today's bulletin from our front page of our website, unityhartford.org. Now, let's come together and affirm what we know about unity. Together, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And here at Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. So again, welcome. Welcome to all of you this morning. Those of you in the sanctuary and those of you who are watching us live stream from Facebook or our website. And if you're on live stream, make your presence known. I know that our prayer chaplains are holding sacred space for you, but greet each other, send little emojis, make comments. Let each other know that you're here. Now, if there's anyone here for the first time, we'd like to welcome you and give you some information. So if this is your first time in the sanctuary, please raise your hand and you will get a welcome information packet. I think we're okay. And for those of you who are online and you'd like a welcome information package, please send an email to officemgr@unityhartford.org and include your name and your home address, and we would be glad to send you that welcome packet. But let's begin now with prayer. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and join me as we come together with open heart in one mind, divine mind, and affirm, I am the light of the world. As we take another breath, we know that God is present in every person and every experience. And we claim right here and now that I am the radiant energy of love. And as I express this divine energy, I light up the world with understanding, peace, harmony, and comfort to all. Let us just take a moment in the silence to savor this knowingness and just silently repeat, I am the light of the world. And as we realize this truth, repeat after me out loud with passion. I am life. I am love. I am wholeness. I am substance. I am the light of the world. And from the center of our being, we affirm the light of love is prospering, guiding, and harmonizing to meet every need. And for these gifts, and for those to come, we say thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen. So now Catherine Ewing is going to come up and read us some announcements. Come on, Catherine.
Good morning, all you beautiful lights. I'm delighted to be in service as your worship assistant this morning. As you know, the board continues to review the protocols, and so we'll cover those first with any changes and then move into the other announcements. So we're still asking you to register for the first time before you come to Sunday service, just so we know that you've read and agreed to the protocols, and you only need to do this once. But please do pre-register before you come in person for your first Sunday service. Those who are vaccinated will no longer need to wear face masks. Those who are not vaccinated or only partially vaccinated must continue to wear face masks in the church building as well as on the church grounds. And also children ages 2 and older who are not fully vaccinated must wear a face mask. There's, as Deborah already said, there's still no singing, but you're certainly, welcome to clap or sway or tap your toes or, move your body, because movement is good and God's in it all, and we will be blessed with Carolyn's beautiful voice. And today we'll be enjoying fellowship in the community room. Woohoo! So if you've brought any food, we ask that you just bring finger food, and please, you can share it today. And when our fellowship time is over, if you would please be sure and take whatever you brought home with you, and we appreciate anything that you bring to share. We're also looking for people to make coffee for fellowship. So if you're interested in serving in that way, there's 2 different ways that you can do that. You can either meet with Tony after the service, and she's back in the sound booth right now, and she'll show you. Or next Sunday, if you come a little bit early, you can just read the instructions. It's not that hard. I heard Scott did it this morning, and if Scott can do it, That's true. Okay, so now back to the regular announcements. We are currently holding a Zoom book study class on the book, What Are You? By Imelda Shanklin, and there are about a dozen people registered right now. The class did meet for the first time this past Monday, but it will be held again tomorrow evening and then the following Monday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. If you missed the first class, there's still time to join. You can jump in tomorrow, and we would recommend that if you can get the book and manage to read 3 chapters by tomorrow, that would be a great way to prepare for being in the class. You can get that book through unity.org or thriftbooks.org or even through Amazon. And if you need this information again, it is on our website at unityhartford.org. And we are planning a spirit camp for Saturday morning, August 14th, just for a morning of fun and spiritual activities, because, we could all use some fun, and spiritual activities are always a good idea. So this will be a morning to experience your inner spirit through arts and crafts, music and dance, fun, just great conversations, something about toes in a kiddie pool. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm just going to leave that alone. Meditation and singing bowls. Labyrinth movements. I'm not sure how that's different than moving through a labyrinth, but maybe there's something different. Reiki and lots of other things. So if you've tried those things and want an opportunity to do them again, or you want to check out what Toes in the Pool is all about, please feel free to come. It's open to all adults and children supervised by their parents or caretakers. If you would like to help out on the day of Spirit Camp, please email Reverend Christine at revchris@unity hartford.org. And you can register by putting your name on the sign-up sheet in the atrium or online this week, anytime up until August 14th. There is a $10 fee to participate. You can pay at the door just to cover materials. And we hope you will come and feed your spirit with joy. And I think probably the mask protocols will remain the same for that spirit camp as they are for Sunday service. And in just a minute, Carolyn will sing the opening song. And again, a reminder, feel free to move your body. And if you feel like you want to hum or mouth the words, we invite you to put a mask on just in case you slip into actually singing out loud, which I know I generally do. So Carolyn, as many admonishments as we get,
be a good
it never
example,
fails.
Ms. Ewing.
What will we be opening with? What will you be opening with today?
Well, I'm going to attempt to sing away the rain because we've had enough. So I'm going to sing I Can See Clearly Now. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that hide me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you, Carolyn. I think we can all agree that a little more sunshine would be.
We'll see if that did it.
Yeah. We are claiming I am sun. All right, so if you would join me in the statement of faith, please out loud with me together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good, omnipotence. Amen. And now for today's daily word. The word today is journey, and the affirmation is, my life's journey begins and ends in the heart of God. And the message reads, my life's journey begins and ends in the heart of God. And so it is. The daily word is right in front of me. I feel excitement of finding the daily word at the beginning of a journey, thinking about the adventures, the beautiful sights, and the fascinating people I will find at my journey's end. Even as I look forward to reaching my destination, however, I remain alert, open to the adventures and insights that await discovery along the way. My faith tells me that my spiritual journey began in the heart of God long before my human birth. In childhood, I looked outward, longing for the adventures that would become waypoints on my journey to maturity. Now I journey inward, longing for the spiritual home I never really left. I am learning that even the most ordinary day can become an opportunity to realize that the heart of God is present everywhere. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore. Psalm 121, verse 8. And now for Deborah.
Thank you, Catherine. So today I get the distinct honor of introducing our licensed Unity teacher, Teresa Creasy, with us. She's going to be our guest speaker today, and her talk is on Spiritual Understanding Empowers My Life. As a licensed Unity teacher, Teresa has facilitated numerous SEE, which are the classes you take to become an LUT, and other classes at Unity Center of Norwalk. She regularly serves as a service platform assistant and has also been a Sunday speaker at Unity of Norwalk. She's the author of the 2020 book titled From Stressed to Blessed. A former massage therapist, Teresa now owns and operates a health and wellness business, Total Balance Life Choices, TLC. She is a graduate of the University of New Haven and received her MBA from Sacred Heart University. Please join me in giving Teresa a warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's overwhelming to hear about myself. It's such a privilege and an honor for me to be here speaking with you today. Unity Worldwide Ministries every year has a theme, and this year the theme is the 12 powers. So every month I've been speaking about the 12 powers, and this month it's the power of understanding. So my question to you is, are you open to a deeper understanding? Are you aware of how spiritual understanding adds to and empowers your life? What's standing under your thoughts and beliefs? In her talk on understanding, Reverend Darlene Strickland, she shared the results of an SAT test of some 16-year-olds. There were some interesting answers to some questions. One of them was, how can you delay milk from turning sour? The answer was, leave it in the cow. What is the meaning of the term Caesarean section? The answer was, I believe it's a district in Rome. What is a fibula? It's just a small lie. And finally, what would you call a terminal illness? Answer is when you get sick at the airport. Now, these are kind of exaggerated examples, but from when we're 16 years old, obviously our knowledge and our understanding continues to grow and deepen. For me today, my spiritual understanding is always waking me up. You know, one of the places that I'm always aware of learning more and going deeper is in marriage. I've only been married 9 years, and I keep being woken up to how to be present in that in a deeper way. I got married at very late in life, and my example of my parents, they made it look really easy, or I just wasn't looking that deeply, but it's not as easy as it looks, although it's so rewarding, just like our spiritual understanding, just like digging deeper into any one of these 12 powers. Another area is just looking at my own authenticity and how I show up, and deepening my understanding of what it is to be one with everybody, to be part of the life cycle or the life stream that's already existing in the world, or to believe in what does it mean to have eternal life. So those are some of the places. Now, Charles Fillmore realized that at a certain point in Jesus' life, he called upon the disciples. And it was when his soul got to a certain level of consciousness, he called upon these 12 disciples. Charles helped us to see metaphysically the interpretation of Jesus calling upon these disciples and what that means in our lives today. As the 12 outer disciples represent our 12 inner disciplines that are alive and ready to be activated on a conscious level. As we develop our personal consciousness to our spiritual consciousness, we begin to deliberately train, deepen our understanding, and use the 12 powers more effectively. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, says, understanding is one of the essential parts of the I am identity. A way to see ourselves, to see that we are the seed of the I am maturing, like a tree with 12 branches, one for each of the 12 powers. Think of it like this. Our divinity or fulfillment is the balance, coordination, and expression of all 12 powers from the God seed within. This helps us to understand. It helps us to see what stands under our existence and our growth process, and that helps to empower us. I'll say it again. Our divinity or fulfillment is the balance, coordination, and expression of all 12 powers from the God seed within. So let's start with the definition of understanding. It's the ability to know, perceive, and apprehend through the powers of comprehension, realization, and insight. It is the ability to make sense of our 12 powers and of life. It allows us to know that divine mind stands under all things. Divine mind stands under all things. It is being aware that what stands under me is the eternal growth process. The Revealing Word defines spiritual understanding as the quickening of spirit within. Spiritual understanding is the ability of the mind to apprehend and realize the laws of thought and the relation of ideas one to another. It is comprehending, internalizing, and then living the truth we know. It dawns over time and through study and reflection, or it can come in a flash. Suddenly the light shines. Knowledge is acquiring facts. Understanding is making sense of those facts. And preceding understanding is a desire from our heart. Now, the apostle associated with understanding is Thomas. He was criticized for not having faith in Jesus and what Jesus was doing. He had to experiment and seek the truth for himself. He was the questioner. He always was wanting and searching to understand. He knew the benefit of the doubt, and he also listened and learned. He represents the ability to see beyond appearances to reality. When Jesus appeared to the disciples, Thomas wasn't there. So when the disciples shared with Thomas what they saw after Jesus' resurrection, that he had the holes in his hands and the hole in his side, Thomas said, I need to see this for myself. So Jesus went to Thomas and said, stick your finger in my hand. Put your hand in my side. He did that to accept Thomas's need for intellectual understanding. Thomas had to see it to believe it. Once he saw it for himself, he understood and he was changed. After that, Jesus said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed. He was calling Thomas to a spiritual understanding. Metaphysically, Thomas stands for our doubts about the invisible truths in life. Jesus represents those invisible truths, the divine identity, the invisible truth of our godness and our goodness. Our Jesus or Christ's nature is eternal and independent of our physicality. It is our invisible truth. Our inner doubting Thomas seeks to understand this eternal divine nature. Now, the feminine aspect of this power is represented by Mary of Bethany. Her brother was Lazarus, and her sister was Martha. Mary was an ardent devotee of Jesus and a seeker of spiritual understanding. She represents the inner devotional side of the soul, the love that attends to the spiritual. And Jesus commended Mary because we need the warmth and love of our heart. Practicality is good, but we need the warmth and desire of our heart. Mary poured precious ointment on Jesus' feet and wipes it with her hair. Symbolically, she is bathing his understanding because his feet are under him, right? She's bathing his understanding with the fragrance of love. The floodgates of divine love must be opened. The precious fragrant ointment must be poured out upon understanding. This fills the whole body and the house with odor that bless and heal all. And that's empowering, ladies and gentlemen. The location of this power is behind the right eye and the right frontal lobe of the brain. That's where our spiritual understanding comes from. The color representing understanding is gold because it reminds us of something that has great value. Now, Solomon was called the wisest man in the world, and he said, "With all my getting, what I want is understanding." Jesus said, "I am the vine, and you are the branches." This can be interpreted as the I am, or the Christ, is the core or the vine within us. And out of this core grow the 12 powers, which branch out as us according to our level of understanding. Charles Fillmore said, "Understanding is one of the essential parts of the I am identity. We are the seed of God maturing like a tree with 12 branches, one for each of the powers." As I said earlier, our divinity or fulfillment is the balance, coordination, and expression of all 12 powers from the God seed within. The more we come from that place of understanding this, the more we can live from that place. Now we understand and see what stands under our existence and our growth process. In Jesus' day, he said, "I am telling you things you cannot understand." The Fillmores and others, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Mary Baker Eddy, Dr. E.B. Weeks, came over 100 years ago and gave us metaphysical understanding that Jesus could not give his people 2,000 years ago. The whole thought idea of metaphysical thinking is the understanding that Jesus had hidden in the parables that he taught 2,000 years ago. This is what sets us apart from Orthodox Christian Bible interpretation. We use the same Bible, but we have a different spiritual understanding of what it is telling us. In our hearts, we have a different understanding that we take it beyond. Metaphysicals, beyond the physical. We take it beyond. So understanding is never final. As we grow and heal, so does our understanding evolve. Understanding is relational. It is that sense of getting it. There's an intellectual understanding, which is information, which tells us what's going on in the world. Spiritual understanding is inspiration, which tells us why and what we can do with it. It comes from within. It comes from our heart. Spiritual understanding brings meaning and good to whatever is going on on the earth. We can see God in all of it if we choose to. But we have to seek it. We have to go deeper. Seek to understand. When we want to control, seek to understand first. Even in the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, he says, "Seek to understand, then to be understood." Now, looking at wisdom as opposed to understanding, wisdom arises the moment we need it. It is our innate ability to know the way to go based on spiritual judgment, discernment, and intuition. Wisdom is in the gut, centered in the second brain, the solar plexus. It's intuitive knowing, spiritual intuition, mental action based on the highest consciousness of truth within. It includes judgment, discrimination, intuition, and all the departments of the mind that come under the head of knowing. It transcends intellectual knowing. Understanding requires us to have faith, to know that our highest good is unfolding despite what experience we may be looking at or having in our physical senses. It's trusting the light will once again be found, even in what may appear to be the darkest tunnel. Understanding is more of a knowing that all is unfolding in our highest good. It is knowing and trusting that the path before you will lead you to a destination far more beautiful than you've ever dreamed. Seek first to understand before we judge, criticize, or complain. 17 years ago, I was with a man I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and he passed. And I was broken, and I was down on my knees, continuing to pray. And it was interesting. My sister said, "How could you still have faith?" I said, "How could I not? It's the time I have to have faith." And I continued. At that point in my life, I was going to Codependent Anonymous or Al-Anon meetings. I was going to 2 meetings a day just to get that spiritual understanding that I needed to what this meant for me in my life. And that was like a beginning point in my life, quite frankly, a beginning to this journey of where I'm standing here right now. You'll hear more of that later. In Divine Audacity, Linda Martella Whitsett says, "Understanding is the power of comprehension, realization, and insight." She says, "Comprehension is the ability to discover connections between thought and feeling. We learn about our divine identity. It comes from listening to our life. By activating our innate power of understanding, we see the past in context with the wholeness." Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word says, "There are 2 ways of getting understanding. One is by following the guidance of spirit that dwells within, and the other is by going blindly ahead and learn by hard experience." I'm here to tell you, I've done it both ways. And following spirit is simply simpler. It's not easier, but it is simpler. Realization is either a flash of understanding or a gradual dawning. It comes as a result of growing comprehension. It is effortless and expressed as, "It came to me," or "Suddenly it all made sense. It was revealed to me." Many realizations come from hearing stories that were told as dreams or visions. The Bible speaks of visions and tells stories. And the reason is that it's an effectual way to teach spiritual principles because it appeals to the intellect and the heart. Have you ever awakened in the morning or in the middle of the night with a clear answer to a pressing question? Comprehension engages intellect, and realization arises from our heart, which Charles Fillmore considered another brain, the center of the spirit of truth. Insight is our capacity to employ realization in particular circumstances. It is applied understanding. The more we comprehend and realize spiritual truth, the more likely our insights will be accurate and useful. Insight is present awareness of our divine humanity and divine identity. So we have to always use comprehension, and we use it by asking and seeking. And the realization came when, years later, I was having these physical episodes of my body shaking. I didn't know what they were. I went to the doctors, and they said, "There's nothing wrong with you, so journal about it." I journaled about it and said, what came through was, "Be the minister you came here to be." And I still didn't believe it. I went on to do my work in a different way. And then one night I had a 1-hour episode of these shaking experiences, and I went to my minister the next day and I said, "I don't know what's wrong." And he said, "I think you're supposed to be a minister." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "No, I think you're supposed to be a minister." And after I cried and I let that in, I had the understanding that that was mine to do. And as I reflect back on all of the things that the universe or God or spirit tried to tell me in different ways, it took my body to shake me to wake up, to see the spiritual understanding that I then had. So how do we cultivate understanding? Have you ever seen the reflection of a tree or the sky in a clear lake or a pond? And then as soon as the wind comes, it gets turned up and we can no longer see that reflection. Well, understanding is the same way. We have to practice being still. If we have chaos or confusion in our mind, we aren't going to have the clarity from our heart. So you have to take time to sit and be still. The understanding and guidance of our heart, mind, and spirit cannot become clear while the mind is mixed up. It comes when we practice stillness. So if you're feeling confused and need greater understanding, get quiet and listen to the still small voice. Ask and seek. The answers will come. They're there. They're right in front of us. We just have to be willing. Sometimes we need to be shaken up, but they're there. The power of understanding reminds us we are all one And what stands under us is the eternal growth process that allows us to be in relationship with this kind of faith, love, and grace. And when we embrace that and accept that, our life is empowered. So to summarize, understanding is essential. It is what stands under our thinking. Ask, seek, and find. Peace, be still. Allow understanding to empower you. I want to say thank you. I'm your sister companion in prayer, possibility, and potential. I appreciate you and I love you. And until we meet again, know that you are blessed and you are a blessing.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Great talk. So here we are in the time in our service where we get to experience and express our abundance. I am abundant. And in the atrium, if you are here in the sanctuary, tangibly you can do that when you leave the church, when you leave the sanctuary. There's a giving box where you can place your cash and check offerings and tithes. There'll be ushers out there to help assist you. To remember, though, that credit cards must be done online through our website, unityhartford.org. Click on the donate button. And for those of you at home, it is website giving. But that's tangible, and those gifts are great. We appreciate, love receiving those gifts. They keep the church open. They pay the staff salaries. Keeps us alive and well here at Unity of Greater Hartford. But I invite you to take an intangible blessing into your heart right now. Something that you would like to have more of in your life. Understanding, peace, love, faith. And I want you to take both your tangible and your intangible blessing. And we're going to say our offering blessing out loud together. Divine love, flowing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen. Catherine, would you like to come back and bring us to the Gandhi blessing?
So it is time for the Gandhi blessing. And as you know, this is a call and response. And I would invite you, if you're able to stand, and before we start the blessing, just take a moment to look around the sanctuary. We're not doing a lot of touching or sitting close these days, but just look around, see the people here with you, holding each and every person in light and love. And then I'll invite you to repeat after me. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
Our wisdom flows from the highest source.
Our wisdom flows from the highest source.
And I salute that source in you.
And I salute that source in you.
And so it is.
So now we're getting ready to have Carolyn sing the peace song. And we want everyone to truly enjoy listening to this song. And yet it's a place where some of us unconsciously immediately start to sing. So if you want to hum or mouth the words, or you think you might start to sing, please put on a face mask. But before we do that, let us just take a moment and make a choice. Make a choice to choose love and peace for each other's safety more than the love of singing the song. Make a real conscious choice. Let's take that into a moment of silence. Let's go within and truly make that conscious choice not to sing. Thank you. Thank you for making that love choice. Carolyn will now sing the peace song, which will be followed by the prayer for protection and then a final song by Carolyn.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, Carolyn. Now, please join me in for our prayer for protection. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I want to thank you to all of our prayer chaplains for holding sacred space, and if you have and for prayers for all of us. We do have 2 prayer chaplains in the sanctuary today, Lynn and Joanne. And so would you 2 please stand up? Lynn and Joanne will remain in the sanctuary after the service to pray one-on-one with you. Simply go up to them and say, I would like prayer support. And if anyone else, and if we'd like to just afford them some privacy in the sanctuary, so once the service is complete, go ahead, and if you want to chit-chat, let's go into the community room and have this amazing coffee that Scott made. If you have prayer requests, you can email them to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. In the sanctuary, in the pews, there are prayer cards. There are also some at the back of the church that you can fill out and put right into the prayer box. We hold all prayers in the highest light for 30 days, and then we send them on to Silent Unity to be held in prayer for another 30 days. If anyone would like to chat with the minister, please feel free to contact Reverend Christine at revchris@unityhartford.org. And I certainly hope she is enjoying her weekend off. I also want to thank today's greeters, Christine and Lois, our usher, Kathy Diggs, our coffee barista, Scott, our worship assistant, Catherine Ewing, and our live stream masters, Jim, Angela, and Tony. And if you would like to be in service on Sundays or even during the week, please email Reverend Christine, and together you will find the right and perfect place to give and, of course, receive. And many, many thanks to our wonderful speaker, Teresa. Thank you again. And our amazing and fabulous music director, Carolyn Fisher, who's going to bring us with a closing song. Carolyn, what is that song today?
So this is a song called I See the Light. And it's from a Disney movie, and I love it. All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been. Now I'm here blinking in the starlight. Now I'm here, suddenly I see. Standing here, it's oh so clear. I'm where I'm meant to be. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light, and it's like the sky is new. And it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything looks different now that I see you. All those days chasing down a daydream, all those years living in a blur, all that time never really seeing things the way they were. Now we're here shining in the starlight. Now we're here, suddenly I know. If we're here, it's crystal clear. I'm where I'm meant to go. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light, and it's like the sky is new. And it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see you. Now that I see you.
Thank you so much for joining us here today, both in the sanctuary and online. It's wonderful to have you here with us. And don't forget to come back on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for our meditation service. You can find that on Facebook. Or feel free to join us in the sanctuary starting at 6:30. And we will see you then. Have a wonderful week.